Welcome to Guildsource Patch Notes. We're going to get right into it. We're just going to skip the title screen. These patch notes are... No, I don't have time. These patch notes are unofficial, so they just come from me, so they're not like some secret thing. But I noticed that ArenaNet released their own patch notes, and they're not even... I saw them, they're really small, and they don't have all the changes. So when I saw them, I was like, oh man, I don't have to make this video. And I was ready to jump in the beta, and then I looked at them, and I'm like, okay, no, there's so many changes that are missing, so let's I just knew we had to do it. So, guildwars2guru.com has the trait changes, and they're really thorough with that. I don't have those, so check those out. There's a link down there. There's the official patch notes, very small portion is down in the link as well as our patch notes that I'm at the write-up of what I'm about to tell you is down there as well. So you can go down there and read those if you'd like. Let's jump right into it. Mesmer's, we're going to go through classes first. Mesmer's Phantasm's health has been increased, so that helps there. And the down skill number 2 is now Deception, which before I think it just created this like phantasmal being that would attack the people that are about to stomp you, and it did nothing. So now it clones yourself, and people don't know who to stomp. Maybe they can just put themselves in the middle of the two of you and your clone, and they can just stomp you anyways. I don't know how effective it is. I haven't tested it. Elementalist's elite skill in the water is now Whirlpool, and it's really awesome. It looks really cool, although I think the graphics bugged a little bit right now. Where if you're in the water, Whirlpool will suck people in on a pulse, and then it'll also do tons of damage, like 2.5 to 3k per pulse, and it sucks them in, so they're like trapped and they can't do anything about it. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so Necromancer Life Transfer, you can now move while using it, so I could see Necromancers running away, perhaps, and using Life Transfer while they're running away and sucking your health. I don't know if they can use it behind them, but that would be cool. In any case, they can use it while moving. Their down state, also number 2, is changed to a fear, so you can expect that, just like the warriors, every time to interrupt your stomp. So imagine dodging out of that, maybe preemptively. Engineer, the explosive shot doesn't bleed on AoE. It does on the initial contact, though, and the AoE radius has been increased, it looks like. So it's really powerful. It's one of those auto attacks that are just genuinely good and can be spammed to kill people. There's some professions that don't have that, like Elementalist Scepter doesn't seem to have a lot of that, honestly. I mean, I've gotten killed by like so many auto attacks from other people. I'm like, gosh, their auto attacks are so powerful. So anyways, the explosive shot is a really good one there, and those changes have been implemented. Glue shot now immobilizes and then cripples, so on a pulse. Rifle's overcharge shot now removes your immobilizing effects such as cripple, chill, and immobilize. And so that's an added function there. Hip shot now pierces, and so not to mention it was already pretty powerful. Now it's even more one of those auto attacks. It just goes straight through people like, and can do a ton of damage. While I've been running away from an engineer before, and just that kills me so bad. Now it can pierce. It's just like Toolkit has been buffed a little bit generally, and the mine kit really changed. It's no longer a kit, it's just a gadget now, and it's just one mine on the primary ability. You just throw it, but they added the fact that it now defaultly will give you condition removal on your enemies, or no, boom removal on your enemies, AoE, and then can also knock them back. And it's on short cooldown, 18 seconds, so I could see that being a pretty good ability because, I mean, you can knock them back and remove their boons, and pretty frequently. Bomb kit, the glue bomb now immobilizes and then cripples on a pulse as well, and the smoke bomb's damage has been removed. That's all for the bomb kit. Grenade kit now throws 2 grenades defaultly and traded to throw a third. So now you're just throwing freaking grenades everywhere. The trank gun now bleeds, and what was the other effect it did? Was it vulnerability? No, weakness. So now it bleeds and weaknesses. They added the bleed, and so now that they basically are buffing it, and I can see the trank gun being used a little bit more now. And fumigate, super powerful. I mean, it's a low cooldown, and they added 5 ticks of 2 things: 5 seconds of poison per tick, and 8 seconds of vulnerability per tick. So a total of 25 seconds of poison and 30 seconds of vulnerability. And then for your allies, for each tick, it's a removal of a condition. So cone AoE removal times 5. Oh man, that's crazy. On a low cooldown, mind you. So I can see that being awesome. Flamethrower, this sucks. They removed Backdraft, the one that pulled enemies to you. That move was awesome. Unfortunately, it was like the only one that really did that, other than the Engineer downed ability number 2. And so now it's been replaced with Vent Smoke, which is a blind, I think an AoE blind. And yeah, Rocket Kick on the tool belt ability now goes towards your target, which is nice because it was really hard to hit before, and it is powerful. The burning effect it adds is just like, and it just ticks for a ton of damage over time. The med kit now, the bandages look like they have a lower cooldown, so expect that that can be used even more. And referring to their engineer elites, the Elixir X now looks like it doesn't choose the Necromancer elite anymore as one of its random elites it can choose. It's just Rampage and Tornado from Warrior and Elementalist. The Mortar elite now, it looks like it gives you stability, so someone can't knock you out of it, like Updraft from Elementalist, Scepter, Dagger, Air, Attunement. So yeah, I can't knock you out, which is cool. Warrior, moving on to Warrior, Cyclone Axe can be used while moving. I think you were stationary before, and Frenzy now gives you a 50% increased damage when you're using it, so as to make it look like you have to use it at the correct times. Thief, stealing from a player gives you one of 2 abilities now, it looks like. And it doesn't consistently give you 1 ability. I forgot what it was before, but now it gives you 2. It gives you 1 ability of 2, so it can change depending. The elite skill now, Dagger Storm, it looks like the range isn't as high, but the duration's definitely doubled. Oh, yeah, that's to be expected. I gotta hurry up before the power shuts off again, so let's get charging forward. The downstate for the Thief changed a little bit. The number 2 is now a teleport to target location. Number 3 is dropping a smoke bomb and going into stealth. All right, Guardian, Whirling Wrath slows you, but you can still now use it while moving. It's the one that you're throwing the arcs of light everywhere and hurting people. Great sword. Some range increases and decreases, and healing nerfs a little bit. The Staff of Martyr Empower ability is now no longer... did I say Staff of Power? Wow, I'm going too quick. The Staff's Martyr ability, Empower, it's now Empower, which channels might to all your allies during its channel, and then will heal everyone at the end of the channel. And then the Martyr ability, which used to be there, is now a utility skill. So that's that, which is Save Yourself. That's the name of that. Hammer of Wisdom is now shit, I'm editing that out. The Elite Tomes can now be used while running, which is crazy. That's awesome. I mean, but like definitely a huge change. Then Renewed Focus, which is the other utility skill for the Guardian, is now usable on a 90-second cooldown, which makes it a little bit more viable than it was before. Greatsword nerfs a little bit. Oh, for Ranger, we're on Ranger now. Greatsword nerfs, slight and longbow nerfs, and pets are working, which is great. Signet passives have been buffed across the board to all classes, more or less. So that's good, making them a little bit more viable and less of a sacrifice for all the power you're losing from those utility skills. Okay, going into general changes. This is really awesome. The free camera has been implemented so that it doesn't suck back to behind your character when you let go of your mouse. If you want to look at the mountains to the side of you and you're running forward, you can just keep holding W and look at those mountains, and it won't revert back to the front of your character, which I use for PvP a lot, so that's good for me. Boon tooltips have been improved a little bit. They're a little bit more descript. Mystic Forge has been implemented. This was in the stress test too, and allows you to combine items that you don't want into items you do. Finish him animations have been implemented. Like finish him. No, they're actually like when you're stomping someone, it'll add like an effect based on your rank. So it's really cool. And like the first one's rabbit, and it like shows some rabbits like jumping around the person that you killed, and it's a consumable is how you like get it, more or less. It's like, okay, so you're a rabbit, you buy your chest with glory, like let's say you buy a bronze chest, not a specific chest, and then there's going to be a rabbit consumable in there, which it says for the next half hour you will do a cool finisher, basically. And the rabbit one, just like the rabbits dancing around a larger rabbit above the person you just killed, sort of disgraceful. And then as they go on, I'm sure that like boar is awesome and deer is awesome and stuff like that. So I think that's really cool. The escape key can now cancel your attacks. Quick, these are going to go out. The escape key can now cancel your casts, which is cool. Food buffs can now go past your dying, so you can use them in PvP. Or can you? Good question. Well, in PvE anyways. Yeah. Players can now preview weapons, right-click and preview, and that works for linked weapons as well. The camera zoom distance has been slightly increased, so I like it really far away. And there's an over-the-shoulder mode for camera now, where it's like when you zoom in all the way onto your character, it'll not go right back to the back of his head. It'll now go over his left or right shoulder of your choosing. You can find that in the options menu. It's a slider, so you can have it still right behind his head if you want. But yeah. And //sh and /shout now do the same thing as /map. So if you like /shout from your previous games, now you can use it. And then the weapon skill unlock rate has been sped up, which is awesome. Now it takes like much less kills. You can get all 3 of your skills in the tutorial very easily now. And so Elementalists rejoice as you're unlocking all your skills. That's it. That's all we got. I'm getting back in the beta. So later, guys. Oh yeah, subscribe.